All right, how's everybody doing? This is Cheech Carrerio from the Cheech and Manny Show. We have a great new segment we're going to do. It's called the Cheech and Manny mini episodes. So this is going to be a quick episode between 15 and 20 minutes about a really cool topic. But I'm going to hand you over to my co-host, Mr. Manner. How are you?
Oh, dude, life is good.
Manuel?
Life is good, brother. How are you, Cheech?
I'm doing good. Survived a day at the temple. Had a lot of fun with my boy Ernest. I sent you some video footage
Mm,
from today
the
and
shenanigans.
the shenanigans we had. And I came up with from the middle table of this topic. You know, quick shout out to Rush. It is 52-year anniversary. I mean, 52 years ago that the debut album came out.
Hmm.
Isn't that insane? 52 years ago.
Hmm.
So that's nuts. So I guess we'll just dive into this topic because we set a timer with 15,
Hmm.
20 minutes. So the topic is for bands, genius bands
Mm.
who put out albums in a 10-year period. Every album was amazing and it was consistent. Does that make sense? Am I make myself clear? It's hard to kind of describe. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
so a band with the same lineup,
Yep.
a 10-year span, consistent output.
Got to be 10 years. It should be the lineup could change
Hmm.
by one or two members. But if it's drastic, it doesn't count. So I came up with seven bands and I can name four of them. I could just off the top of my head go every album um in their genius that goes with it. Um so you want me to start with
Go.
my four? Okay. So I'm gonna leave the best for last. So I'm gonna say, well, I'm not gonna say best for last. They're all great. I'm gonna say Black Sabbath. Black Sabbath had a 10-year run. Actually, from 70 to 78. So, but I'm going to count it as 10 years, you give or take, or you know what I mean? You can minus two. Every album was genius.
Hmm.
Not one bad album. Black Sabbath, Paranoid. Wow. Why am I getting a brain fart here? Black Sabbath, Paranoid. Sabbath Bloody Sabbath, Volume 4, Sabotage. Uh, Technical Ecstasy, Never Say Die. Did I miss anything? I think.
Yeah, I think you got it, especially not 10-year mark, which
Yeah. I mean, those albums, Black Sabbath, Paranoid, Sabbath Bloody Sabbath, Volume 4, Sabotage, Technical Ecstasy, and Never Say Die, and then a live album, Live at Last. Genius, masterpieces, classic. From Sweet Leaf to Junior's Eyes on Technical Ecstasy. I mean, I Never Say Die to the song Never Say Die to Snowblind, first album, Black Sabbath. They did not have a bad album and they were consistent with their lineup. So that's Black Sabbath. Any comments on that? You agree, disagree?
I agree. They had the longevity starting from the top till the end. And even though it's funny because you're like, you may disagree with that because their end productivity was like, a little hit or miss. But yeah, no, man, same lineup. They
Yeah.
actually did kept and releasing great albums consistently.
Oh yeah, nonstop. Then the second band they have, the mighty Led Zeppelin. Oh my God, you
Hmm.
know
Hmm.
they had in a 10-year, 8 to 10 year span. Led Zeppelin 1, Led
Hmm.
Zeppelin 2, Led Zeppelin 3, Led Zeppelin 4, Houses of the Holy,
Holy Physical Graffiti, Presence, Into the
into through,
Outdoor.
and
And
then
then finally Coda. You count it.
oh
That,
yeah,
that was probably
yeah,
their but Yeah, dude, talk about a run. Same band.
Yeah.
And the only thing that stopped them was, and it should go back to Black Sabbath. So Black Sabbath from um I guess 1970 when they released their self-titled debut.
Yeah, 69 in Europe and England,
Right.
and then 70 here, I
And then
believe.
Masters of Reality. And then
Oh, I skipped that one. Duh.
yeah, I
I,
was gonna say that's the great
what the fuck?
in
I'm
my
sorry.
opinion, is better than like Paranoid
All
and
right, let me go back. Let me go
go,
back. Let me go
go.
back. No, first album, Paranoid, Masters of Reality, Volume 4, Sabbath Bloody Sabbath, Sabotage, Technical Ecstasy, Never Say Die. How could I should be shot for forgetting Masters of
Yeah.
Reality, which is their masterpiece. Do you want to see the Pope at the end of the rope? Do you think he's a fool? You know?
Your favorite line. Do you want to see the Pope at the end of the rope?
And it's not
No,
anti-religion, you
no,
know,
no, it's actually
which
historical.
makes
Go
it
watch
yeah,
Godfather Part 3 and then you'll find out.
yeah. But
Yeah, dude. But yeah, dude. And Zeppelin 4, Never Say Die, Sunday Bloodies,
Sabbath Bloody Sabbath, yeah,
Sabbath Bloody Sabbath. I mean,
yeah,
yeah, consistent. And obviously the lineup will change after, but from
yeah,
like 10 years, it would seem to
yeah.
me.
You think about it, 10 years with Ozzy,
Yeah.
only two albums with Dio. I mean, they, count three if you count the Humanizer. So they only had two albums with Dio. 10 years with Ozzy creating heavy metal. So that's Sabbath, and then Zeppelin. Any comments about Zeppelin? I mean, it just you can't really. What could you say?
Dude, it's yeah, man. It's Led Zeppelin. Come on. They're probably the greatest, one of the greatest in this list.
Collective geniuses. You know what I mean? And that's the word I love. We were talking about geniuses at young ages. These guys are all under 24, by the way. You know, doing their masterpieces. Um, the next one, Iron Maiden from 1980. This I will not mess up. Sorry, Sabbath fans, that I messed up Masters of Reality. But I was at the temple today, so you got to forgive me. A little brain dead. Iron Maiden and Paul Di'Anno. Killers, Paul Di'Anno. Okay. Then Dickinson comes in, Number of the Beast, Peace of Mind, Power Slave, Somewhere in Time, Seventh Son of a Seventh Son, 88. Then you have No Prayer for the Dying, which I believe was 89, and then or 90, and then oh my God, Fear of the Dark, 91, I believe. So they had more than 10 years of great, I mean, these are great albums. And on one lineup, a couple lineup changes. Obviously, Paul Di'Anno to Dickinson, and then Yannick Gers came in,
Hmm.
and Adrian Smith had left at one point. So it doesn't matter. It's still Maiden. The core members are still there: Murray, Harris, and Dickinson. But they had a hell of a fucking run. I mean, especially the first four albums.
Hmm.
You know, I mean, you could debate some of the songs later on, which I won't, but fans might say, I'm not too sure about only the good die young, or some of these songs on the later stuff,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
Seven Son of a Seven Son. But I love everything Maiden's done. Even with Blaze Bailey, there's not. I mean, now it's a little Maiden's all over the place with their albums. I don't follow Maiden now, but
I think 90s, but at that point they're past the 20-year mark. I mean,
oh yeah, yeah. They're
they're
like
longevity wise, long.
like the next band I'm going to mention, Rush. They continued
Yep.
past the 10 years.
Yep.
Now the greatest band in the galaxy, Rush. Oh my God! First album, Rush.
Hmm.
Fly By Night, Caress of Steel. Now
Yep.
some people might say, no, but that is proven to be some of the fans' greatest album that they love, or over the decades. Fans have come out and picked that as one of their favorite Rush albums of all time. Didn't do well at the time, but it's still a great album. 2112, masterpiece. Farewell to Kings, masterpiece, Hemispheres, Permanent Waves. Then you have Signals. No, I'm sorry. Moving Pictures, Signals,
Mhm.
and then Grace Under Pressure.
I mean, dude, and when did they release the debut?
74.
And
52,
then by
52 years ago today.
84, dude, and by the way, they end up releasing their arguably greatest record, Moving Pictures, and then Grace Under Pressure. Now, mind you,
Yeah.
that's 10 years
A
or
10-year
signals.
span.
And
Could you
they kept going.
imagine?
Grace Under Pressure, Power Windows.
Oh,
That's
so
that
yeah,
that is insane.
yeah. I mean, Rush went up until the sad stuff that happened to Neil. They took that break and then they came back with Vapor Trail, Snakes and Arrows, Clockwork Angels. So I think Rush, oh my God, in the 10 years, I think beats nah, they're neck and neck with Zeppelin,
Right.
you
And
know?
they are, I know Silky Joe, so hopefully he's watching this, but he might hate us for this. But they are the I feel like the Holy Trinity now we're entering. They are Led Zeppelin and Rush in terms of their consistent lineup
Yeah.
and what they kept producing in like a 10-year range,
Oh
right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
now I think they kind of surpassed Zeppelin. I know Joe's gonna be like, no, no. And
Well,
the
yeah. I
and
mean, what
we
would
got the
Zeppelin
father
have
son,
done?
and if I can mention our next one, the Beatles. I mean,
Oh yeah,
starting
yeah,
from 55 to 1970. I mean, depending, I know Let It Be was released as like they didn't want to release it, but
yeah,
whatever. But still, dude, they produce all of their albums are masterpieces. Like whatever the time frame was. So these three bands in 10 years, same lineup.
yeah,
Maybe they might have added somebody here and there, but for the most part, they released insane albums. I, I would say when people talk about the greatest rock bands of all time, or rock artists, or rock
yeah.
musicians, I think these should be top three. I mean, unless
Oh yeah.
unless you want to argue or say no, or
I mean, I think you know the chronology of the Beatles, or how many album is that from the first album to say sorry their last album?
chronology wise.
Yeah.
So starting from the Please Please Me, like in 1963, I guess.
Wow.
But they
Holy
were
shit.
playing before. Like they
Yeah,
just
yeah.
that, but they were playing before, so they were already a tight unit. So 1960,
Hmm.
released Please Please Me in 63. And in 1970, they released Abbey. Well, I guess I'll put lump it together. By 1970, Abbey Road and Let It Be. But what's astounding about this band, though, a lot of them went to successful solo careers. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
I love Rush to death, but their solo career, like it's okay. Um,
yeah,
Zeppelin, I know Robert Plant and Jimmy Page did their own thing, but to be
yeah.
honest with you, they never reached the heights of McCartney or
No, no,
John
nobody had.
Lennon. Dude,
I
John
don't
Lennon,
think
like,
the only person who did was Ozzy.
yes, he would be a fantastic contender. Where after
Yeah,
fronting Sabbath,
yeah.
fronted his own band,
Yep.
included some on this first two, Diary of Madman and Blizzard,
Hmm.
included some of the greatest musicians with him. And yeah,
I
that
know.
would be an excellent example.
Yeah.
All right, 1 minute warning.
Okay. So we have, I said seven. Oh, then the next one is the Who, and you're a Who specialist.
Yep,
So
yep, dude. The Who, starting with the Who Sings My Generation, all the way to, I mean, technically, they were still releasing albums, but I guess from 1982, before they released the one with Pete, no, sorry, the guy, the new drummer, before that, and in like 76,
yeah,
with the death of Keith Moon, but they ended up releasing Who Are You? Dude,
yeah.
that's a long range of consistency. Like,
Great, great
right.
material.
And imagine they carried on after Keith Moon died. And
Yeah,
obviously in the waves.
Kenny Jones is the guy's name.
Kenny
Kenny
Jones.
Jones. You
They're
better, you
fantastic.
better, you bet.
Yeah, I sent you a video.
Yeah.
It's
You
just
better,
funny.
you
It's
better, you
it's just
bet.
funny how he changed the sound of the band. And
Well, it's 1980 now.
yes,
So, and that's did Townsend do the solo album after that or before that? You the song You Better, You Better, You Bet. I lose my who, you know.
wait, is it
'Cause
again?
Townsend did a couple of solo albums that were really
Oh, he's
popular.
been doing solo albums. Like he was
Yeah.
already starting. I'm not sure about the
So
rest, but he was starting already.
it sounds like a Pete Townsend solo album. You better, you better, you bet. That's a great song. And then even It's Hard, Eminence Front.
Hmm.
So they got some good stuff. So the Who, Black Sabbath, the Beatles, the Mighty Zepp, Iron Maiden, and Rush. There's one more, but I don't know if I think I don't. There wasn't a significant amount of lineup changes, so they count in this. The Rolling Stones. So from what was the name of the first Stones album?
Meet the Rolling Stones.
All right, Meet the Rolling Stones to Black and Blue. That's about 10 years, right? It's all pure genius. It's
Oh, dude,
pure
the Rolling
genius.
Stones. And the only, I guess, what's interesting about them is that they had this, and we kind of debated this about the lineup changes, like,
Yeah,
how radical or depending on, or maybe an addition. Addition, I think would count. What's interesting about the Rolling Stones is that up to the time of um uh Beggar's Banquet,
yeah,
uh and they had Brian Jones, which was,
yeah,
but by that point, poor Brian Jones was starting to, his influence was more felt in the early albums.
yeah,
By Let It Bleed, I feel like now we have and even Brian Jones' contribution to Beggar's Banquet, which is my favorite album. I adore
yeah.
this album. It has Sympathy for the Devil,
Oh
one of
yeah.
the best theological songs of Satanism, a true
Oh
satanic
my
song,
God,
but
I
not what
know.
you think.
No, the
No,
opposite.
the a case study, a beautiful portrayal of making these deals with the devil, but this time we are surpassing the devil, which is astounding for
Yeah,
a young band at that point. But anyway, but they already changed the sound. Let it By that point they were the Rolling Stones, and dude,
yeah,
and then they added Mick Taylor, but I heard that Mick Taylor kind of really didn't contribute much, except some riffs here and there because he was an accomplished
yeah,
guitarist in his own right.
yeah. He was
Zap.
more of a guitarist than a songwriter, you
Yeah, it's
know.
so sad because of the egos in that band, they didn't let him shine in that band.
No,
But he
no.
did he did contribute great riffs. But the riff master Keith Richards was over there. But
Oh
dude,
yeah,
from Beggar's Banquet all the way to your album, even I would
yeah,
argue Tattoo You, 1982, dude,
definitely.
and all of their albums. And now, mind you, after they got a little spotty, but for
Yeah.
the most part, dude, they were rocking, rolling like no pun
Oh
intended,
yeah, yeah. Oh,
consistently putting out great records. And obviously
definitely.
by 19, and no one fact check me, they release Exile on Main Street, considered one of
Oh
the
yeah,
greatest
yeah.
double albums.
What is that
So
album too? Some Girls.
yeah, well that was
Oh my
later. They
God.
they just kept having like they kept and they just
Yeah.
introduced Ronnie Wood, but Ronnie Wood's interesting. I think Ronnie Wood just added like that much needed I feel like Ronnie Wood should have been in the Rolling Stones at the beginning.
Oh, he's
It's
got the
perfect.
look, man.
Perfect match. I remember
Yeah.
watching him in Tattoo You, which is a very underrated album.
Oh yeah,
Watch his name in underrated. It was a big hit with MTV Start Me Up.
yeah.
But
And
uh
She's My Little Rock and Roll.
and
That's a
she's I
great.
love
Love
that
that
song.
song.
And
Yeah.
Waiting on a Friend, different, but
Oh
I
yeah,
love the reggae, like that nice, like
yeah.
whatever sound they were going for. But yeah, dude, that's when you think about, and even then after then their later albums, they had some hits. Like
Oh yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Mick,
Harlem Shuffle and stuff like that.
oh
But it
yeah.
started to get. It wasn't the Stones. It was like
No,
every
no.
band
You
in the
know what
'80s.
happened to them? They 80s fied.
Exactly.
They got affected.
You
But
know.
anyway, but dude, in terms of that's insane. Like, dude, any band would kill to have like an Exile on Main Street in their discography. Like, I know
Oh
your
yeah.
boy Jack White would kill to have one of those albums.
He would. He would. So I think the Stones go in the category. So before we wrap up, I think that the greatest bands of all time are those seven bands because
I
of what they
would
achieved.
you
Not
mind? Would you
no.
mind summarizing them? the
Yeah.
seven greatest bands, and we're gonna call it. I don't care what Rolling Stone says.
Yeah.
These are
Fuck
the
Rolling
seven.
Stone.
Yeah.
These are the seven greatest bands
These
who
are the seven greatest bands.
had this consistency of genius for a decade. I
And
give
you
a
and
10-year period.
you gave them 10 years. Now some of them
10 years.
surpassed it, but
Yeah,
10 years, dude.
right. Now some bands did it in less than 10 and their music was genius. Like Cream. Cream did it in 2.5.
That should be its own topic for another.
Yeah.
That should
That's a,
be
that should be the
three
next one.
years. Which bands and or like in short spans created.
The Janis Joplin, The Doors, Cream, Jimi Hendrix, what they accomplished in a short period. And this is the
Oh,
opposite.
dude, I don't know if I can add one more band. Oh,
Yeah.
American Genesis. What do you think on Genesis?
Um, well, the first two albums, the
Okay,
first,
they were a little too. Okay, okay, I see what you
yeah,
mean. And
and that's why,
they didn't really get sent until 74, but then by 76, I'm 73, but then Peter Gabriel left, and then complete change with Peter
but
Gabriel
then,
with
but
Peter
then by
Gabriel
say
song.
like by 19, well, if you count like Foxtrot
No,
to
no, no,
like,
no, no. They're its own conversation another time. No, no,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, no.
and
But
then
the
we did
greatest
say
bands, to keep it
we
simple,
we
the
said another band, but they didn't. Who was it?
Pink Floyd.
Like Pink Floyd, because you can't count Pipers of the Gates of Dawn because it's really, it's okay. It's a great album, but it's not genius as far as I'm concerned. Um, you know, Tull had a lot of great albums, but they had lineup changes and they weren't consistent with like Zeppelin. You know what I mean? I mean, people could argue with me about Tull on that, but I don't think Tull fits in that category, like with the
No,
Sabbath or the
and what's
Zeppelin.
interesting, my monkey wrench to that, even though their albums are all great, my monkey
Yeah,
wrench to that is the lineup changes because Take It
yeah.
to Break and Aqualung are kind of different in sound.
Two different drummers, two different bass players.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and Ian
yeah, yeah,
Anderson decided to tackle prog. So anyway, that's a whole conversation.
yeah.
But anyway, yeah.
So,
So go ahead,
so
summarize the seven
around,
greatest bands that you need to listen to
seven greatest bands you need to listen to because in a 10-year period they created genius albums consecutively.
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 It's a
That's the
key
key.
word. No, and if I
Okay.
can I also add there another criteria? Every
Yeah.
album must listen. All killer, no fillers, like 10
And
out of 10.
and they grew on each album.
Mhm.
Every album they grew. Zeppelin especially, Rush especially. Um I'll start from we'll go to the 60s. The Who, Rolling
Well, just
Stones.
go if you want. Just okay, you can do that. I was gonna go with your list. 'Cause that was like Black Sabbath,
Um well, yeah, I'll do I'll go from the Who and the Rolling Stones in the
Rolling
60s.
Stones,
Black Sabbath and Led Zeppelin.
Black
Um
Sabbath, the Beatles,
oh, the Beatles before all of
the
them.
60s, then
Okay.
Zeppelin, 70s, Zeppelin and Sabbath,
Yep. And then Rush and Iron Maiden.
Iron Maiden, and
That's the
Iron Maiden.
seven
Yeah, Iron
greatest
Maiden is
band.
so, and Iron Maiden. I know a lot of people be like, but wait a minute, they had a new singer, right? They left behind what was this thing?
Paul Diano.
Paul Diano. Uh, yes, but the thing is, but you can argue that first of all, those two records are
The,
insane in their
the
own right.
genius.
But
Genius.
with the introduction of Bruce Dickinson in 82 from 92, and
Oh my
dude,
God.
they had a rock and roll. The 90s, like the last record, Seventh Son and Somewhere in Time, dude, they just kept going. Choo, choo.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Even up to No Prayer for the
Yeah.
Dying. And people who don't know No Prayer for the Dying, listen to that album. Tail Gunner, Mother Russia, Genius, Fear of the Dark. They surpassed it. They went into the 90s. Then when Dickinson left, it gets a little different, but because they got Blaze Billy in the band. But Maiden, definitely. I would say Maiden is the only heavy metal band to do this. I know we're probably on the 25 mark now, but we'll keep it under a half hour. Uh, but Maiden is the only heavy metal band to have 10 consecutive in 10 years have genius albums. Judas Priest didn't do that. Metallica sure as hell didn't do that. Metallica's good for 4 albums with me. The Kill
Well,
'Em All.
that's the thing because and again, and these are all topics made for their own like
Yeah,
do we think Metallica is the greatest band of all time? Now, uh, Yes and
No,
no, man.
Metallica is not the greatest heavy metal band of all time.
Well,
Iron Maiden
that's
is.
a whole nother conversation. But with
Yeah,
Metallica's interesting because they released starting with Kill 'Em All up to like, Injustice. Now, I'm not
yeah,
counting the Black Album because that one completely changed their sound.
yeah,
Now, it's its own thing.
yeah,
It sold a lot. But then
yeah.
afterward, a lot of fans and even some critics said that it went so that was only maybe how many years? Maybe
They took a long break because they toured so much with Injustice. So Injustice came out, and believe it or not, in '88 when I was in high
oh,
school.
okay.
Uh, Late '88, I was starting college. So in 1991, the Black Album came out, and let me tell you, we waited. We couldn't wait to hear because Injustice was genius. The only problem with Injustice is the bass is too low, but everybody knows that story, you know. But otherwise it was the beginning of the prog metal thing, you know, Fates Warning, Dream Theater, Queensryche, Watchtower, Wrath Child America, Lethal, Annihilator.
Well,
All these great prog metal bands were doing it, and Metallica were always proggy, but they got so proggy on that album. And my point is 1991 comes around, Bob Rock made them more commercial, but to the diehards, we were kind of like, yeah, this is okay. But God, I got to say one thing about the 90s in heavy metal. Thank God for Pantera because, the Black
no,
Album.
and that's a I feel like that should be a whole other topic though. I think we should
Yeah,
wrap
yeah,
this up.
yeah,
This
yeah,
keep it brief. But those are the greatest bands. Go out and listen to them. And our criteria is 10 years. In 10 years, they accomplish so much genius.
yeah,
You need to listen to all these albums in the 10-year range. So,
yeah, 10-year range,
and
definitely.
then
And yeah,
Silky Joe, if you're watching, tell us what you think.
definitely.
Comment below.
Comment below. And this is our new segment, the Cheech and Manny mini episodes. Did we
It's
go
like
to, are we at 25 minutes? Because we're trying to keep it
I think
under
so.
a half
We
hour.
gotta stop. Yeah, because we don't want to turn
Uh,
it into a regular episode.
yeah. Well, thank you for watching our first mini episode on the seven greatest bands of all time. So, Nanu Nanu. Peace out.
Subscribe.